was that?
Hey, hey, hey.
God damn it, my mic was muted. It's Friday night. We've survived another week. Thank you for joining Tonight's Edge After Dark.
There goes the monetization.
Really? That's that.
I am Robert. I don't appreciate your monetization policy. Infuriates me, YouTube. Bring me his lower horn.
Welcome once again.
Welcome once again. I am, of course, Rob Robach. Along with me, as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, whatever it is where you're at.
And joining us, actually, this very special guest, Mr. Stig Kenobi.
Hello there. First time I've been here, I think. So thank you so much for having me.
Never gets old. Hello there. That's right. And joining us, you know that music.
You're getting the casual Friday Mecca who didn't put on makeup. That's because I had way too much on yesterday.
Yeah, but you look good in that shirt, so don't worry about it.
Oh, I had way too much on last night. Watch my Dark Side Mecca video.
I haven't got a chance yet, but that looked interesting.
Your
Alphabet people are coming after Shatner again.
We're going to talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah, we are. It's your favorite YouTube harpy. The Ninja Warrior Viking Mistress. Whatever. She's won an ESPY, a Tony.
She's probably a sorceress too, I bet.
I mean, I'm not going to just admit that I'm an alien sent to observe you as you destroy yourselves, but you know.
She is an MBA. She's a BA, a BS, an MBA, and is a BMF. Miss Mecca Random.
What's a BMF?
Bad motherfucker.
Oh, okay. You can't prove that.
Oh. I can't not prove it.
That's true.
We know you all have lots of choices in YouTube tonight, so we want to thank you for joining us. And we want to thank Stig for joining us for the first time. Stig, you might notice if you've caught shenanigans at any time, Stig's the executive producer.
Yeah, that just happened. I don't know how. Just all of a sudden my name was there and there was a title. So
I think it's because you're just a mainstay and you're kind of the anchor.
I don't know. It's probably just Mary being nice.
She likes your accent.
Could be. Yeah.
Stig does have a channel though, and you have enough stuff on your channel that you can watch it on the toilet, right?
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 minutes of footage split across 6 videos, I think. So yeah, I'm very user friendly.
We just keep you around because you got such a great sense of humor. We love the Stig jokes, and anybody who's watched Shenanigans knows what I'm talking about.
What it really means is that I'm not right in the head.
That too. But that's why we're all here.
Okay, well, I'm in the right place then.
Absolutely. So, Rob, before you blow a gasket, our top story, why don't you break us into that?
No, sir.
What is our top story?
Riri.
Exactly. Okay. Well, I have to get the OBS up here.
Oh, you're having issues with OBS.
No. I'm not having issues with OBS. I have to.
You're just having issues?
Story up. Yes, I have more issues than Sports Illustrated.
Oh.
Well, okay.
I got the. Do you need the link?
Yeah. People are singing woo in the chat. They're never going to let me forget that one.
Yes, woo is like your catchphrase.
And that and hello there.
Yeah, that too.
So, okay.
All right. So we've got Robert Downey Jr. slated to come back to the MCU. How curious.
Yeah. How curious indeed. Oh boy. We all know him. We all know him. We all love him. And fans have been petitioning to see the return of Iron Man. Well, everyone, we may get to see Iron Man sooner than we thought. You know that old curse is be careful what you wish for? Fans were shocked when they learned of Iron Man's death in the Marvel box office hit Avengers Endgame, where he died heroically. Marvel fanatics all around the world are paying respects to Stark after he sacrificed himself in order to defeat Thanos and save the rest of the universe. But have we seen the last of Iron Man? Rumors are now coming to the surface that fans may see Robert Downey Jr. return as Iron Man in a new Disney project, a Disney Plus project. Fans have been speculating the return of Iron Man in the form of an AI version of himself in the future, which many thought could happen in Spider-Man Far From Home. But it didn't turn out that way. I don't like where this is going.
None of us do. None of us do. They don't have Spider-Man, so they're like, oh shit, who can we get? Who can we get? Let's get Robert Downey Jr. maybe to say something so we can put his face out there to distract people from no Spider-Man.
Marvel fanatics may not have been too far off though, as it is now rumored that Robert Downey Jr. may be heading back to the MCU for an Ironheart television series on Disney Plus. It's been heard that Marvel wants to do the series starring Riri Williams Ironheart, the teenage genius who carries on Stark's legacy in the comics alongside Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr., who could return in a voiceover capacity, much like Paul Bettany's beloved Jarvis. Though nothing has actually been confirmed yet, if this rumor does become reality, it wouldn't be the only project on Disney Plus. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan will return to your television screens in the brand new series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Almost sounds like a bad 70s detective show.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
This week on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Actually, I think that one's going to be okay because you've got the writer of the John Wick movies, but
they're going to be exploring racism.
That's racist, Rob.
Of course they will.
At the 2019 D23 Expo, fans were excited to learn more about Marvel's What If series, which will center around all 23 MCU films. But what makes this unique is in each episode, there will be one major plot difference to show how much the timeline could actually change. Looks like we may have more than just Iron Man to look forward to on Disney Plus. The new streaming service launches on November 12th in the United States. Oh, God.
5, 4, 3, 2.
You're counting down to my.
It's your aneurysm, yeah. The microphone headphone warning. I guess he might get loud.
Let's take a step back.
Breathe. Oh.
You should turn on your camera for this one.
Goose baba.
Oh, mellow.
Riri Williams.
We're going to start referring to as Disney's Marvel now, because we've gotten beyond the actual real Marvel, and we're venturing into this idiotic, all new, all different Marvel, something which failed miserably.
I guess from a story point of view, the Stark voiceover in the suit makes sense, but the character died, and he died in a very good way, story-wise and all that. So they're just keeping him alive for whatever reason, and it's not good, is it?
No,
that should have been the period for Iron Man Endgame.
Well, not only that, people lost their minds when they thought that there was a chance that his daughter in the movie was going to be Ironheart. Remember?
Yeah.
and they went and attacked the actual actress. We did that story.
That actually wasn't related to that at all. That was the media speculating. No, the girl who got attacked was because she was acting silly out in public. It had nothing to do with
that's right. Yeah, you're right.
I
But I did see some people.
Can't hold it anymore. It's already failed once in the comics. What is wrong with you people?
Oh, for God's sake. The only hero's journey Riri Williams had was she built the suit out of stolen Stark tech because she was bored. There's your hero's journey, folks.
Somebody told me she was also mad at her teacher for not acting racist towards her. And that's her whole character backstory.
Not acting racist?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was something so they were saying she's a psychopath because the teacher was not acting racist to her, and she was demanding that the teacher act racist to her so she could play the victim or something.
Why didn't you molest me, Dad? You never loved me.
Yeah, that's where we're getting to, folks.
The other thing too is that, and again, I always point, we gotta have him on. This guy S.A. Rivera, he's on Twitter, Literature Devil. He summed it up perfectly. Her teacher said that she is so smart that she's not feeling challenged. She is so smart that she's gonna be they're just making excuses that she's like Wile E. freaking Coyote. She's a super genius, which is why she has to build the Iron Man suit out of stolen Stark tech. And she doesn't. Oh, but what about her friend who gets killed? Yeah, the friend that literally comes out of nowhere. They just, she needs a friend. Okay, we'll plop a friend. No relationship, nothing. No. I know kids make friends early, easily like that, but for God's sake. What is your... Do you hate me? Do you really do you hate me, Kevin Feige? Do you secretly hate me? I didn't do, and this is gonna come back to bite them on the ass. It really is. And this, like I said, this, like we keep saying, this has all failed in the comics before. Riri Williams is a terrible character. We already have Mikey Spock. We don't need another one. And that
never even heard of this character, to be honest. I used to read Marvel comics when I was a kid and in my teens. Never heard of this one.
Well, Stig, how old are you though?
40.
Okay, she's only been around the last few years.
Oh.
Yeah, these are these new asshole diversity characters that just come in and steal and appropriate other characters' stuff, powers, technology, names in a lot of ways. Now, this is the type of thing that, as a normie, as a moviegoer, right? I keep hearing whenever I listen to the actual, like, the comic book experts, they're like, yeah, the people like you want to come in and read books about, like, Iron Man and Captain America. They don't want these new swapped out characters, right? And I hear that from a lot of people like Gary, Yellow Flash, all the your boy Zach, those type of people, right? They all say the same type of thing, being like from the comics industry. For a normie like me, I'm going to come in and hear this, and I'm like, okay, well, her name is Ree right there in the title. First of all, great, you appropriately named your character for your demographic, Ree. But the other thing is, like, I was a kid, right? I would have heard this. 12-year-old boys are going to come in and make fun of this character coming in, and they're gonna call her Riri, like it's short for she's retarded, not being ableist or anything. Here, I'm just expressing what kids are gonna say. They're gonna say that because kids are assholes and they make fun of shit.
Well, we brought this up before. As far as I know, growing up, Riri was slang for the word retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was me or somebody else pointed it out to the guy who made the character on Twitter, and he got all defensive and defended it. But it's like, I don't know one single black person with that name. Why? Because they're not stupid enough to name themselves Riri.
The other thing too, like you said, Mecca, you have people. Yeah, listen. The excuse of, well, the whole comics industry is on the downward trend right now. This is why. Because you're giving people characters that nobody likes. Riri Williams, Jane Foster, Disney Princess Thor.
Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, nobody likes. And don't give me this. She sold a lot of trade paperbacks to schools. She sold the trade paperbacks to schools.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, isn't that where they dump all the shit that nobody buys through Scholastic?
Well,
Yeah.
it's like it's like a deal. It's like they don't generally choose what they get. They just get a care package, basic. I don't know how to put it. Like you pay a certain amount of money every year and you get those books. It's not like you sit there and pick them and you get a deal on them since they're for a school, or they probably donate them. One or the other. Chances are. I mean,
Marvel probably threw those in just to pad their numbers.
Oh, but they represent Muslims or African American women by stealing characters from other characters.
And are there actually anybody of those races really truly reading these?
No, they just like to go on Twitter and say, hey, this is representative. This is wonderful. You're a 40-year-old woman of Muslim descent. I don't think you're buying a comic book because I'm a 40-year-old white girl and I'm not buying comic books. I'm going to the fucking movies. And when the movies are shit, I don't go and I complain about them on the internet.
You know what's bad though? When you write a character and the first thing you do, or the most important thing you do, is to portray a skin color or a gender or a sexuality, that character will only be skin deep to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's why they're poorly written.
Well, yeah, because they're written to fit inside of this little box. And what do we love about boxes, Rob?
What do we love about boxes?
We fucking hate them.
Cats like them. They sit in them because they fits in them.
That's not the same.
That's what they're appealing to, cat moms.
It's definitely not the same thing.
Also, we should start referring to remakes as remakes.
Yes. Trademark.
Yeah. It's a remake of.
Well, I'm already calling it a double shiny. There's a race in it. She's already a double shiny race and gender swap of Iron Man. That's all she really boils down to. So was she? Oh, she's her own character. What are her powers? Exactly like Iron Man. She's a fucking race and gender swap. Double shiny Wokemon for the Wokadex.
Speaking of
short Iron Man with a different gender.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you got your Wokemon thing made up yet?
I have one. It's on my soundboard, but I don't know if I can play it.
Wokemon.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Rob should have it. Rob, you emailed it to me. You should have it.
That's an excellent pun. I approve.
Yes, I was going to say, you would probably... This is why we have Stig on tonight, guys. Because he's one of the funniest guys we've ever met.
Oh, you need to meet more people.
Yeah, Rob, where's your double shiny race and gender swap?
I can't do a search here because it'll bring up other files.
Okay.
Right. If you know what I mean. So,
your porn file.
But the whole thing is, like I said, they're patting themselves on the back. You're not doing this for the fans. You're doing this for yourselves so you could show off in front of your low-life buddies at Hollywood cocktail parties. Oh, look, we have a black teenage girl in our series. Oh, yeah, well, I have a teenage Muslim girl in my series.
Yeah, they're just showing off their Wokedexes, like they're showing off. You remember back when they would show off their slaves back in the 1800s? Look at the biggest one I've got here because I'm a privileged white person. That's all they're doing is they're just toting these people around like they own them, like they're accessories.
Also, they use it as a shield because as soon as
then
someone
you can't criticize it.
Yeah, because hey, there's a black person in there. You're a racist.
Which am
I, or are you the racist for toting them around?
Yeah, I remember Ghostbusters got criticized for poor writing, which was apt, right? And then everyone went, yeah, and we just don't like it because Leslie Jones or something. I was like, oh.
No, I mean, it got criticized because it wasn't written down on a script. And even Chris Hemsworth said, yeah, I didn't even have a script. We were just told to go. And people who were watching them film Ghostbusters, they were saying, yeah, they filmed for like 9 hours in that coffee shop just doing improv.
That's bad.
They should make a movie out of Shenanigans instead. Less woke.
Shenanigans is far from woke.
Wow.
Well, remember, Tom, a couple years ago, there was that retailer summit that Marvel had, the retailer's breakfast.
Vaguely.
Well, anyway, they said they were fielding questions. A guy gets up in the back and says, "Hey, you know what? I got kids walking into my store, and
yeah.
they're looking for the guys they see in the movie. They're looking for Captain America. They're looking for Iron Man. They're looking for Thor, and now they're not finding them, and they're walking out empty-handed." And then all the quote unquote access media could run with was Marvel. Oh, Marvel retailers hate diversity. No, they don't hate diversity. They like money. You're not giving them a product they can sell, and you're repeating this right here.
Well, not only that, they were blaming the retailers for it. Oh, you're just not selling it hard enough. You're not doing what you can do. You're not giving good customer service. You're not making people buy this book that they don't want. I mean, you can only recommend something so much, and if they don't like it, they're not going to come back and buy the next issue. That's why these issues drop off like 75%.
It'd be just like if McDonald's turned around tomorrow and didn't say it, but they just did it, and made all their burgers into veggie burgers.
Sounds like a nothing burger.
Exactly. And then they would turn around and lose all their customers and be like, we don't understand why we lost all of our customers. Well, maybe it's because you totally changed what you were doing before that worked real well for over 50, 60 years or whatever. You know what I mean? That's the same thing they're doing here. This is a well-oiled machine that has worked very well for quite a long time. Same thing with DC and all these other franchises they keep doing this to. And I've said it a million fucking times. If it's not broke, don't fucking fix it. There's a reason why Superman the movie worked, and I've said this a million times before, and I'll keep fucking saying it, is because they didn't change who Superman was. They didn't change the character at all. He stayed exactly the same as he's always been. Now, the world around him changed because, it was 1977, not 1945. So, that changed a little bit. Lois is a more independent, openly sexual woman after the, women's movement of the late 60s, early 70s, same kind of thing. I mean, things were different around him, and she, they poked a lot of fun at things in Superman the movie, but they didn't change who he was at the core. Christopher Reeve understood who the character was. Richard Donner understood who the character was. Tom Mankiewicz understood who the character was, and they made sure that it didn't deviate from what it should be. The moment you started having Superman poke fun at himself and wink at the camera, then it would have been over. And that's all this shit is. It's a lot of, look what we're doing. And like we've said a million times before, they're just bringing them out like circus freaks. Look at our token gay. Look at our token black. Look at our token Asian. Look at, it's all the same. And any of these people who actually have any part of this are just as guilty.
It's kind of sickening because they just throw this poorly written character and hold the character up. And this one has the same skin color as you. So now you must like the movie. We gave you this little treat. That's what they're doing. It's kind of that's the racism, isn't it?
Really, it is. Because you're forcing it.
Look, we have a black girl as Iron Man. Oh, love us. Won't you please love us?
No. No, I won't. I see through your crap. Treat people a little bit better, like they're people instead of the color of their skin. Stop calling me names on Twitter. Stop sending your little idiot fanboys and shill accounts to attack us on Twitter for this crap too. We're tired of this.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a well-written character, the people will love it anyway. I mean, nobody got pissed because Lando was a black guy in the old Star Wars movies. People loved him because it was a great character.
And he was just as much actually more of a scoundrel than Han Solo was. You couldn't do that character now.
No.
Yeah.
You couldn't portray an African American like that. There's no way.
Or an Afro Bespin. Like,
hey, he wasn't from there. We don't know that.
That's right.
And he's groovy. He's down. He's with everything. He'd fuck Ironheart's suit.
Awesome character. One of the first action figures I bought too when I was a kid. Or rather, my mom bought it for me.
Well, there's a perfect example of what they did to him in Solo. What did they give to that character that was anything more than what I just said? They made him pansexual. That's all they did.
Yeah, and he shagged a robot, which means he can now give R2 STD too.
I don't even think he shagged the robot.
She said it works, so she admitted it.
Yeah. Wow.
I had to
Usually-
argue with some idiot about that. They're like, you don't even know if they slept together. They don't even think they did, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bullshit. She said it works, meaning that he put his dick in her.
Yeah, he
Well-
used his input device and her backup device.
Well, it was the space version of the 70s. So I mean, lots of freaky stuff was going on back then.
Hell yeah. Colt
When,
45.
when L337 looks at me in that special way, I have to pour a nice cold glass of Colt 45 malt liquor.
It works as a lube, too.
Makes it kind of creepy when he goes, what happened to your droid? It's like, when 3PO is all blown up.
Oh yeah.
Like, is it from overuse?
What happened?
Did Han do that, or was it Chewie?
I'm sorry. I had to.
What happened to your droid?
Yeah.
You really do belong among us in the clouds.
Yeah.
No wonder C-3PO is so fucking anxious.
Yeah.
I got people that can fix them up real good. Give them a few extra parts while at it.
Real good.
I'm gonna fix your hyperdrive.
Real good. See, I've got some data you might want to download. So your port looks mighty fine from where I'm standing.
Oh, just
this
wait,
is-
Darathon. They will. They will.
Shagging your port is exhausting.
Exhaust port. I get it. Yeah.
I don't have the chat up.
As well, at least robots in this galaxy can't me too you.
Oh yeah.
I said, just wait. They will.
Oh yeah, well,
Okay, well
beep beep too.
Okay.
So yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is back, and it's being overshadowed by the fact that it's a fucking Riri Williams show. I haven't really said shit other than that about the show. I've talked about other shit. Do I care that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back? Not really. It's just a fucking voice. It's going to be here and there in the show, and it's all they're going to use to sell this thing that nobody fucking wanted or asked for.
You like Robert Downey Jr., don't you? Please watch it. Please watch Riri Williams.
Not enough to watch Riri Williams. No, I
No.
don't.
No,
Because I don't
no.
need some backstory or some side story or some hologram or some reenactment to ruin it.
I'm guessing Robert Downey Jr. is gonna act as a crutch to sell the show.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
He
much.
he can't stand on his own feet. So
No.
Oh, well, I would imagine that they announced this just because of the whole Spider-Man mess.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
this
what I
came
said.
right
initially.
on top of the Sony story saying that the deal's done. Period.
Oh yeah. That's what I said off the bat. It's like, yep. It's exactly to distract us.
And what I can imagine, Kevin Feige or Alan Hornerson, what will it take to get you to come back? Yeah, I know Tony Stark's dead, but would you be willing to do something else for us? I imagine that was the conversation.
Well, I gotta say this. I can't, and going off of what Mecca said, I can't believe that it probably wasn't in the plans to have Tony come back as an AI, and not only for Riri necessarily, but for Peter and stuff
Mhm.
in the next movie. That's what I was kind of thinking, and I'm sure that was probably down the line, and now it's not. But
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would have.
You know why those glasses were called Edith, right?
there's more to it. That was going to say, yeah, it has everything to tie into the whole reason. I don't want to get into spoilers, but the whole thing with the virtual reality thing he has and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, Edith, it's an acronym. You know what that stands for? Even dead, I'm the hero.
Oh, we got a super chat, Rob. Cha-ching.
Ka-ching. Okay, I don't have the chat.
Well,
up
that
here.
is on our. That was a pretty little light. Thank you. That is on our list of things to talk about tonight.
Because I was watching Nerdrotic's stream, and apparently there's a Captain Marvel adult film parody coming out. The costume in the parody looks better than the MCU one to me. Yes, we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
All right,
We can probably segue to that if you want to, since they're connected.
if they have like a furry in it, they could call it Cat in Marvel.
That cat. Yeah, that's okay. Chewy.
No, that's why you're here, Stig. Do never fucking apologize.
I don't know. I've never been there before.
Whoa, I can't show that picture. Holy shit. Okay, I'm trying to find a picture I can actually show.
Just the cover. Let me find the tweet that I tweeted because I think I'm the one who.
I can't show any of these.
I think I'm the one who found this anyway for everybody.
Let me get the Twitter up here.
God, where did I put it? Where did I put it? I know I retweeted it. Like
great shots.
Oh, it's just right there in the cover. I've been getting it retweeted all day. Here we go.
You tweeted it in the thing already, or are you just doing it again?
Here we go. From 21 hours ago, I'm going to copy link to my tweet. There. Oh, wrong chat. This chat. Yeah. Still. Hey, follow me on Twitter if you guys do.
Yeah.
I got them right next to each other. So
I can't copy it. I got to bring up the other one then.
But yeah, this is from the director here. Now, yeah, her costume does actually look way better, and I've seen this girl before. She is way more likable.
Who is she, Rob?
Rob, you've seen her before too, right?
Yeah, who is she?
What's her stats?
Kenzie Taylor, I think, is the girl.
Oh, I think I have seen her.
Yeah, because I know I've seen her.
Let me see. Let me take a look at her. Kenzie Taylor.
She's a porn actress, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can find a publicity photo of her.
Well, just click the tweet in the group chat.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Oh yeah, I think I know who she is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe she gets scroll fucked. Sorry, pun.
That's okay.
She probably does.
I
Usually
told you quit apologizing. God damn it!
I know she's been in another one of the parodies,
okay,
and I just can't remember which one.
All right,
you gotta finally gig it. Did you get your fluffer in time?
No.
No.
Do I have the finger?
Where is it? It's on my butt. It's kind of squishy.
Wonder if the Brie bots will Probably. That's going to be probably my top video tomorrow, unless something else major happens.
$5 from Captain Harry says, if we're going to delve into porn parodies, when's the Star Trek Picard one coming? I'm ready for some hot and heavy dune buggy action.
Don't you think I know that?
There is actually a TNG porn.
Well, yes, Sex Check. They're really good. The Sex Check, the Next Penetration ones are pretty good. I think there's like 3 of those, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I say there's a couple of them. Yeah,
it's actually better than anything that legit Star Trek has done
recently. Yeah, they are. No, he's not being just. Yeah. So this is our new Captain Marvel. I want to review this. I want to review this for the. Is this out yet, or is this coming soon? Because I couldn't find it on.
No idea.
His site.
Coming soon.
Okay.
Phrasing.
Giggity.
She looks like a cosplayer though, but that's better than Brie Larson anyway.
Well, Brie Larson looks like a cosplayer. She looks like she bought a fucking Kmart costume. That's how most of these new films. And I mean, if we're getting into that, look at how Star Wars is. Most of those look like off the rack Kmart costumes too.
Yeah,
they're easier to reproduce that way.
Yeah.
Well, aside though, that's a good cover, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're done for people to cosplay.
Exactly.
Yeah, they want to make it simple enough for people to cosplay. Like that makes any money.
Well, they hire a lot of those fuckers at the cons and stuff. We heard that.
Oh yeah, there's like the Star Trek ones. Some of those are professional cosplayers that they have like a troupe that they go from con to con to con, and it's the same people over and over again.
And they actually get paid by the con, from what I heard too.
Yes,
but that's just a rumor, I guess. I gotta say.
Is it going to be released in a box set?
I would like to do a series reviewing these.
Boy.
I'm sure Rob would love to help with that.
Yeah, Rob, you're pretty quiet on this one.
What was that?
You're pretty quiet.
Is it the same?
With my Googus.
Is it based on the same plot as the Captain Marvel movie?
Probably.
Who cares at this point?
So it has Nick Fury in it.
Well, yeah, she's probably gonna bang Nick Fury. She's probably gonna bang Jude Law's, whoever that's gonna be. She's probably gonna have her lesbian fling with Lashana Lynch, like an allegory for that, or whoever they've got playing Lashana Lynch is gonna be like way hotter too. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, the
And then
cat
she'll
had,
probably bang the scroll. They'll probably have a guy dressed up as Goose the cat, because I mean that's tentacles, so they're probably going to do something with that. I'm looking forward to this. I'm really excited.
sounds like fun if she gets 10 tickles.
Right? It goes full hentai. I'm down for that. That'd be great. He's downloading it now, Dorotheon says.
That's why he's so quiet.
Yeah,
He's gonna start coming.
Both hands on the keyboard. Like I said, it's just
Sean Strife says the train scene's gonna have a train run on her.
Oh,
Raising boom.
tunnel vision.
boy.
Good Lord Almighty. Anywho, so yeah, looking forward to this at least, I guess.
For the money it would cost to sue them, probably it's not worth Marvel Disney's while, huh?
Well, they're parodies, so
Yeah,
they
it's a
can't really
parody.
fucking do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's a porn parody. They have like one of every single one of these movies. So
I saw a porn parody of well, I didn't see it. I just saw a couple pictures of it of the classic Ms. Marvel, the Carol Danvers and Scarlet Witch. So be surprised what's out there.
no, you wouldn't. You really wouldn't. They had a porn parody of Plan 9 from Outer Space called Plan 69 from Outer Space.
Not surprised. I seen the Fast and Furious porn, like Captain Hare said. It stars Rob, and it's just basically him for like a whole minute, just jerking it real quick. That's it.
My God, if I tried to masturbate right now, you know what would come out? Little flag with the word "bang" on it.
Oh shit! Are we ready to talk about the Shat?
Yes.
So
God.
Mecca, you brought this to me, and I seen this, and I seen it's actually getting picked up by a couple places, so it's kind of interesting to see. And we all love Shat.
Mm-hmm.
He's the man.
Show the picture, Rob.
I'm getting there.
No, Rob, show her a picture of when we met William
Oh,
Shatner.
that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me see. Hold on.
I went a little dark side Mecca on my video about this, because this type of crap, you've got these people going after William Shatner, saying, hey, block me, hey, you're this, you're that. They're making all of these little antagonizing posts to him just so he'll block them, just so they can complain that he is blocking gay people. Even though it has nothing to do with the fact that they're gay, it just has the fact to do with there being little cunts to him on Twitter, for lack of a better word. You know, they're just being little assholes. You know, stuff like "Shut Up, Shatner" and the clown stuff, and just all of these little tweets here. And it's just disgusting how they're treating him. It's just absolutely disgraceful.
You know, I'm going to say something. Shatner's been in the business long enough now, and he's an old enough guy that if anybody was going to come out and say that he's anti-gay or whatever, they were going to do it by now. And he wouldn't have a career probably anymore.
No, this is just the current trend with all of these older actors. They're going for the ones who they think, oh, you're just an old white man, therefore you're racist, sexist, blah, blah, blah.
Who's next? George Takei?
Well, they did it with Stan Lee. They did it with Gene Roddenberry. You know, they do it all the time with these older actors. They probably would have gone after Leonard Nimoy if he were still alive too, because these people get in their head and that they are the victims here, right? Because as William Shatner says right here, you know, somebody's like, hey, can you block me? I'm gay. Is that what you're trying to make of this? Such immature types, just so you can scream Shatner blocks the gays to incite fake hate. Because that's all they're doing. Is they're just trying to cause drama.
Yeah, it's what happens when victimhood became a currency, right? And all of a sudden it's not working, so they're starving.
Yeah, Twitter handle too. Michael Burnham Stan. Michael Burnham Stalker, right?
I was just going to say that. Thank you for bringing that up, because here's the funky thing about this. This is like a select part of the STD fan group doing this shit. I've noticed they've done
Yeah,
it for a while.
these are those people. This is like the little Heather Ray. These are like those 5 little people who are cheering every time they were attacking the fan base on stage during the Discovery panels. These like 5 or 6 of them. Woo, we're all gay. Who cares? You have gay people on the show. You have straight people on the show. Star Trek was beyond this. Grow the fuck up. Go back to something like Star Wars if you want this diversity bullshit. You're not smart enough for Star Trek. You're not good enough for Star Trek. Stop being separatist. Stop trying to make this about diversity and all this shit when it was always like that. This is one of the things that's wrong with current Star Trek fans, and this is why you have this clear divide between the old casts and the new casts, where they're, the old casts have to chime in and say, hey, it was never about that. Hey, I was the first this. Shut your mouth. Hey, stop it. Stop going on about the shit you're going on about. We're here about Star Trek. We've already done this. Shut your pie holes. We've already done this stuff. Stop already. Oh.
It's like the same problem Star Wars has. Is
Yeah, I know.
You have these new fans that were never fans to begin with, but they're just
Exactly.
fans of the politics being shoved into it.
The same ones that went after Mark Hamill, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's another one of the older. They're going after this age group and this status of these older white actors. And I'm not saying they're old. I'm just saying they're not like these 20-something or millennial target stuff. They're people. These are the same people who go around on Twitter saying, "Who's Ozzy Osbourne?" Right? These people, it's this group of people who, oh, you're celebrities. It's your time. It's your grandfather's Star Trek. We don't want you anymore. Get out of our fandom.
Okay, I got the chat photo pulled up. I had to try to figure out. I had to open it up in the browser tab. So I don't know if that's coming through. There's myself. There's the chat. There's Miss Mecca.
I'm horrible at that picture too. It's a vertical.
We're the one who wanted to show it.
I know.
You're the one who clicked on my face.
All right. So that's from Star. That was from Star Trek Las Vegas. So
I think I got mine here too. Hang on.
I'm surprised they haven't gone after his failed underwear collection. Shatner panties didn't sound well.
Shatner panty. What woman wouldn't want to go to bed with William Shatner?
Yeah, Shatner.
They want me wrapped around their nether region.
What does it say? Hell, Star Trek itself cited as an early example of what's known as Afrofuturism.
What?
I don't know.
The fuck does that even mean?
$2 from Captain Hair. Ka-ching. I don't have the ka-ching up.
You don't have nothing up tonight, Rob.
No, I don't.
Period.
It's that kind of
You're
night.
fired. You're fired, Rob.
Fired. You're
Thank you.
fired. You're fired.
You're fired.
These trolls are hired by that Gorn cat. No, but you're not far off there. Some of them could be CBS hired trolls. That's not completely out of the realm.
No,
of
I think a lot of them are, because they recite the same 5 fucking things and they have their same little agendas, and then they get on you and then they laugh when you block them. I'm like, dude, I'm not blocking you for you to win. I'm blocking you because I don't want to look at your fucking face anymore. That's why I don't want to look at your tweets. I don't want to look at your profiles. I don't want to see your goddamn screen names. That's why I block you.
Tom, this is Starbuck Jones. Conspiracy theorist Starbuck Jones. I am here to tell you that there's conspiracy to undo William Shatner. Okay? It started when the Gorns turned gay because of all the mushrooms in the spore drive. It's suspended the spore drive and it's turned the Gorns gay.
Are you referring to Discovery, sir?
And it's turned the Klingons into Klingorgs.
Are you referring to Discovery?
People. Buy my super male Klingon vitality potion. Just $24.95.
We don't talk about Discovery, sir, so I don't know what you're talking about. No comment.
Okay. The Gorns. Okay.
Leave Shatner alone. Leave Shatner alone. Leave him alone. No, seriously. What the fuck did he ever do to you?
Makes you wonder what they would have done to Tolkien, to be honest.
Fuck yes, God.
Yes, Alex. Yes, Alex. And the Tribbles are colluding with the
Tribbles are colluding with the Romulan Empire. Then they're going to take over the world, the New World Order, the New Galaxy Order, the Romulan Empire, and the Tribbles. It's as clear as day, people.
And they're trying to say that the president of the Federation is dealing with the Romulans behind our backs.
Oh
For
god.
what purpose?
Spore Drive makes the Klingons gay. Yes.
They're trying to sell us tribbles.
Trying to sell us Tribbles. Tribbles will be the new currency in the New World Order.
It's triple down economics, folks. It's not going to work.
Why didn't I think of that? Why did I think of that?
Why didn't Stig think of that?
I almost never watched Star Trek, so
I was going to say, are you even really that much of a Trek fan, Stig? You never really talked
I've,
about it much. Well, I know
I
you're a Star
watched,
Wars fan, obviously.
I watched the movies, Star Trek movies, all of them. Haven't watched. Well, I tried watching one of their shows, but fucking Will Wheaton.
Yeah, Will Wheaton's lame.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah, even we don't like Will Wheaton.
I never really minded him, but
Since then, I think you have kind of soured to him. I didn't really hate him on the show.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna
like,
say, when I was a kid, I didn't mind him because he was kind of like my viewpoint on the show.
Hmm.
Well, that was the idea. He's supposed to be the point of view character. But he could do anything, though. That was the problem. The universe.
He's an alternate Mary Sue. I get that.
I didn't start watching it until I was like 37 or I don't know.
My
But,
dog is laying on her back.
The whole universe.
Aw. Doggy
Wow.
Cam?
I like the
Oh,
old
let's see if I
movies
get a
though
pic.
with Kirk and Spock.
She
and
got
all
up. She heard me say something.
Ashley Judd was on an episode with Will Wheaton.
Mm-hmm.
that. Cool.
Back when she was,
Well, what's sad is Will Wheaton's not a horrible actor. It's just it's the writers. It wasn't his fault.
Well, they came at it from the approach of what would it be like to be a kid on the Enterprise and to be able to do anything on the Enterprise, any job that, like I said, he just plugged Will Wheaton into any situation and he would solve the problem because he was
nothing but a little brat. He would never tell me where his mother kept her dirty undies.
Really? Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm a sniffer. I admit it. Dune buggies.
Yes, always the Dune buggies.
What? Dune buggies?
Yes, Dune buggies.
He saw Picard cling on to his mother.
Yes, and I loved it. Until we get married, and then it's like, shut up. I'm sick of hearing the same shit every day. And she's a fucking know-it-all because she's a doctor. Oh, she's like, oh, you don't have a doctorate in anything. Who. Well,
It's
fuck you.
woo.
I drove a dune buggy. Woo.
Yeah, woo.
I'd like to see her drive a dune buggy.
I was watching a guy on YouTube convert a Volkswagen to a dune buggy.
I love that man, and I've never met him.
You literally unbolt the body from the floor.
I'm listening.
Yes, and then
Can we do this to the Starship Enterprise?
Well, maybe might be some spare parts.
We could make it a kick-ass dune buggy in space.
Yes, but what about? There's no oxygen in space. I mean, you need to.
No, but you can drive. You can drive on the Milky Way.
Bubbles, and I like Milky Ways and Snickers. Do you have one?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Oh, man.
I have a sweet tooth.
Apparently, you do. Are they paying you in Snickers for the new series?
No, they're paying me in puppies.
They're paying you in puppies.
Yes.
What do you do with the puppies?
That's a rough way to make a living.
Well, at least it's not triple down economics. I'll tell you that much. Thank you and good night, nurse.
Old Man Picard. Yes, Old Man Picard. Oh boy.
All right. What's next on the agenda?
I don't even know.
Well, Wasn't there another story we had, or what was it, Mecca?
I don't remember.
Let's bring up the tweet.
Yeah, what was in the thing?
You had
Snoke. There was a Snoke something. Snoke something.
Yeah, Snoke and
Robert
Kylo. What's the big
Pattinson
about?
something.
Well,
Rise of Bones.
Robert Pattinson.
I don't know.
I think this might be worth checking into because I think this is the first time Robert Pattinson's talked about Batman since he's gotten the part, right, Rob? If I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah.
So let's run through. It's a quick story. It looks like.
Do you ask if he's going to sparkle?
He will.
Let me see. Variety. Robert Pattinson. Oh well, how would you know he's going to do a bad job if you've never seen him in anything else? Because listen, I know I don't like you too. I know I don't have to listen to their new album to still hate them.
Oh.
It's neither here nor there.
I bet he's gonna do an okay Bruce Wayne, but I don't think he's gonna be a good Batman.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably
Robert
be a
Pattinson.
fucking stuntman most of the time anyway. So what difference does it make?
Yeah.
How tall is he? He can't be.
I will find out.
Robert Pattinson knows he's a lot to live up to as he prepares to step into his highly anticipated role as Batman in Matt Reeves' forthcoming Warner Brothers movie. It's crazy. Okay. It's crazy shoes to fill, the 33-year-old actor said. Batman was really the only superhero I had a connection with when I was growing up. I was obsessed. It made it very, very daunting. However, the actor who's best known for playing the vampire, Edward Cullen, in the mega popular Twilight, or as I call it, the Twilight franchise, said he can distract himself from any anxiety by focusing on his upcoming Christopher Nolan film, Tenet. I've got something else to be nervous about, he said, laughing. I haven't got enough anxiety space in my head to really get too anxious about it yet. Click here. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Click here. I'm not clicking there. Screw you. You're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. You're not my supervisor.
You're not my supervisor!
On cue.
So.
Was that the lady from Archer?
Yes, it was.
You have an Archer fan here, Rob.
Good show.
Yeah.
Very good show.
Danger Zone!
So.
Well, I mean, he at least he knows that there is some pressure behind it. Again, even though you're mocking it, it's true, Rob. None of us here have probably seen him in anything other than 5 minutes of Twilight. So, yeah, I can't really comment on it. Like Stig said, most likely he's going to be a fine Bruce Wayne, and who gives a shit as how he is as Batman, because it's going to be a stuntman most of the time anyway, and he'll probably have like a voice on him. So, I don't know.
I was one of those people who had no hopes when it came to Heath Ledger doing a good Joker, and I was mistaken. So I'm gonna play this one quiet. I made a fool of myself once when it comes to Batman.
Mecca?
I'm so tired of the Batman stuff. I don't know. It's like I don't know if I even care anymore.
Have you seen him in anything though? Other than
Twilight? No,
yeah.
I saw the Twilights with Thrift Tracks, and they were hilarious. But no, like yeah, seriously, if you want a good laugh, they once he goes into that mode where he's like carrying the chick on his back through the woods really, really fast, they come in with the Benny Hill music. It's really funny.
But is he sexy with his shirt off? That's all the ladies are gonna give a shit.
He's like
about.
12. No, ew. He's too young for me.
He's 33.
Okay, so he's like 10 years too young.
He was like 20 something when that's the other funny part about it. That was like people forgot how it was. Like they used to do that shit all the time back in the 80s, cast like these 30-year-olds to play
I know.
90210 and 21 Jump Street and shit like that. Well, now they got to a point where they actually started getting real teenagers to play real teenagers for so long. I think it's been a long time since we remembered somebody that old playing it. And I think I remember somebody saying about how old he was but that was like 10 years ago. So yeah, he was in his early 20s. So he wasn't too bad, but still.
Wasn't he in Harry Potter as well?
Yeah, and he was in one of them.
One of them, I think, yeah.
Yeah, he got killed or something.
I think that was the one with David Tennant, right? I don't
I didn't
remember. They
watch
all
them,
bleed,
yeah.
they all just bleed together. They're not good.
God.
They're not that great.
Goblet of Fire, according to Christian Garcia.
Yeah, Cedric
Why?
Diggory. That was the character's name.
I keep saying why. I keep saying why. He's 100-year. What's like 100-year-old man? Go and hang out in high school. Obsessed with a 16-year-old girl. I mean, if that really and nobody had a
So
problem.
why didn't they just call it Congress the movie?
Yeah.
I never really thought about it from that aspect before, Rob. Now you just made it really creepy.
Yeah, it is creepy.
That's like really bad. Like he should be in like on a list.
There was that whole thing, Twilight moms, these 40-year-old women screaming about Twilight. And there's that meme that says, if these were a bunch of 40-year-old men screaming for a 16-year-old girl, somebody would call the cops.
Yeah, I remember that. But I didn't think about it from the other angle about him being some like ancient vampire pervert.
Yeah, but they feed on virgins.
That's
So-
different. That
Yeah,
I
but,
can understand. There's a reason for that. It's not really a sexual thing
See,
so much.
yeah, it's
This is
okay to
all
kill her,
about
not to
sex.
fuck her. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay to
it's
kill her,
what-
not fuck her.
Yeah, it's like us eating a sandwich. We wouldn't eat it if someone had fucked it before, would we?
Right. That's how I see that. I understand that. It's not like the vampire has some sexual, weird, pervy desire to go after young women other than the virgin thing, and it's probably easier to attract a woman than it is a guy. I get that. That makes sense to me. This I'm sparkly and I love you and I'm not a bad guy vampire shit never made sense to me. Like I've said it a million fucking times. They come out in the day, they sparkle and they float. Those are fairies, not fucking vampires. I'm sorry.
And then they go, "Oh, he's so mature." Well, yeah,
Because he's 100.
he could be your great grandfather.
Of course he's mature. Like they had nothing in common too. If you actually watch the fucking movie, she's into like nothing because she's a fucking teenager blank slate. She has no personality and no interests. Apparently she had like a dance background, right? He comes in and he had like this, he was a piano player, he's really into music, all this shit. Like you have nothing even in common with this girl. She's a mopey teenager who's like an ant compared to you. She has no life experience, nothing. She doesn't have a personality. She doesn't have any interests or intellect, or she doesn't even do anything. She isn't even a mopey, depressed teenage girl on a guitar writing bad poetry. She doesn't even do that in these movies. And so what is the lesson you're teaching here? Don't have a personality and some interesting person will find you interesting. I don't get it. It's like they're so poorly written.
Like, she has no personality. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's probably why SJWs identify with her.
Oh, I know.
But if you think about it, Robert Pattinson is the worst vampire ever because it took him 10 years to turn into a bat.
She has no personality. She's written as a blank slate so that anybody can project themselves into that role. She's like, and somebody did a breakdown of how to write a Twilight movie.
Yeah, Darathon 405 said it. Empty vessel.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Twilight breaking down. Yeah, it's literally called it. The guy literally called her pants because that's what she is. She's an empty pair of pants that anybody could just slip on and off.
Yeah.
See, that's why I hate all these new characters that they're coming out with because that's all they are. They're either that or they're just stealing some other character that we already have.
Yeah, because the new writers can't write, which is why they keep remaking old movies. It's basically generational appropriation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They're
it kind of is.
Taking what talented people wrote, editing it, and calling it their own.
Okay,
that's what I was saying before. Yeah.
Here's the site that and it's actually a pretty good parody. Well, that's not a parody; it's a breakdown, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good assessment of the whole Twilight of fun, how Twilight works. A few weeks ago, when we had the miserable experience, this site's called theoatmeal.com. A few weeks ago, I had the miserable experience of reading Twilight. A friend bought it for me, and I took it with me on a long flight to Seattle, from Seattle to Houston. I knew it was going to be crappy, but I thought it would be a guilty pleasure kind of crappy, where it's bad, but you still get enjoyment out of it. I actually managed to power through around 400 pages until I gave up and started reading Sky Mall. I've been seeing Twilight everywhere lately, especially with the New Moon's Vampire Teens 2 / New Moon's release. So I thought I'd break down why everyone is going apeshit for it. Oh my God, vampires in the show. The typical fans, your typical Twilight fans. First off, the author creates the main character, which is an empty shell. Her appearance isn't described in detail. That way, any female can slip into her and easily fantasize about being this person. I read 400 pages of the book and barely had any idea what the main character looked like. As far as I was concerned, she was a giant Lego brick. Appearance aside, her personality is portrayed as insecure, fumbling, and awkward. A combination anyone who ever went through puberty can relate to. By creating this empty shell, the character becomes less of a person and more of something a female reader can put on and wear. Because I forgot her name, I think it was Barbara or Brando or something like that. I'm going to refer to her from now on as Pants. Yeah, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's actually really funny.
You know what it reminds me of, though? Those old make your own adventure books.
Yeah.
Only you do it with the character in this case.
Mm-hmm. Edward. They describe Edward as being a combination of He-Man and Jesus Christ. He's
Fuck yeah.
I have the power of God.
I would love to hear Mahler rip this one apart in depth, like just the first film. It'd probably be a 17-hour epic marathon. It would probably break him if he had to sit there and watch Twilight.
Did RLM do one on Twilight yet? I would love to see
I don't know. Who has? Somebody's
I don't think they have.
Oh, well, who the crap wants to sit through that and watch it?
I know, right? I don't either, but I mean, I would love to hear Plinkett rip the shit out of it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, here's the article that Rob's talking about. Sorry.
Yeah. What's worse is that, Twilight's sort of spawned this whole fan fiction. Now, 50 Shades of Grey was Twilight fan fiction. E.L. Grey wrote it on her cell phone, and when you look at it, it sounds like it was written on the cell phone.
Well, like the first editions all still had like grammatical and spelling errors, didn't they, and all that other shit still, and some of them may have never even been fixed. I don't know.
Yeah. But think about it. Who said it? That Hollywood is about 2 years behind the curve. Isn't that what we're seeing now? The Marvel Universe turn into just Twilight. It's just a bad version of Twilight because this YA stuff sells. So let's try to turn everything into YA stuff. We have a girl.
I wouldn't go that far.
The YA stuff sells because what the crap is there to watch for them? I mean, they got nothing else. Like when we were teens and kids, we had, like actual entertainment. We had actual movies to go to.
No, I don't think you're wrong in a sense that a lot of these people they're bringing in to work on these things are starting to deform what we love into something that these SJWs will watch, but they're just still not going to watch it. So it's counterproductive. And that brings us back to what we always talk about. So that part's true. Yes, Rob, I will say that you're right about that. If you want to make that point, I believe you. But as far as like actually turning it outside of some of the shows, I don't quite see it yet. I mean, yeah, there's some arguments for it, but they have a little ways to go before it completely goes to that extreme. And YA shit's starting to die in Hollywood. They're not using it anymore since the last few flopped. And even Ready Player One didn't do that great. So as far as I know, they're kind of out of that phase.
One good thing about this lack of creativity in Hollywood these days is it has made me go back and watch old movies that I've not seen before. So I'm actually having a blast. I watched Fright Night for the first time.
Oh, really?
A while back. I loved it.
Oh, it's a classic, yeah.
Yeah, better than anything I've seen in the cinema for a long time.
Well, it's because filmmakers actually knew how to make film back then. And I think I've said it a million times before, I think that digital killed filmmaking. I truly do, because I think that the whole we got only so much film to work with, so much time to work with, so much money to work with went out the window when digital came in. And people
CGI should be makeup for a movie, not Botox.
exactly, and that's what they're doing. They're relying too much on that. Plus, movies are cheap to film now because they don't use real film; they use digital cameras now. So to actually use film back in the day, it was a big deal. So you had to make sure you knew what you were doing and get it done the first time or maybe the second, because you weren't getting a third take usually. And especially when it came to special effects or stunts or any of that kind of shit, you didn't have, we'll fix it later in post. You know, and that's all these movies feel like anymore.
They're just so lazy, and they don't even fix it half the time in post. Look at the time when Mikey Spock points the phaser,
right? Or even Game of Thrones, yeah, perfect example.
Yeah. They don't, and it's like this sees to get degrees level of filmmaking that we've got even nowadays for a lot of these films. Like they don't care; they just crap these things out in a year. They have the release date set before they have a script, and it's getting ridiculous. That's how the whole movie industry has just become this McDonaldization of entertainment. It's like, dude, we don't want this garbage at these top dollar prices. You know, I don't want to pay $18 to see a movie that was a first fucking draft, right? That's supposed to be this huge
Last Jedi.
Yeah, that's supposed to be this huge major film.
Sorry, I see.
Like, really though, like I don't. There are these giant productions, and there's these giant epic things. You're at the one hand, you're throwing this big spectacle. There are these spectacle movies. That's the only thing are getting people in the seats. But at the same time, you're just crapping them out in a year, and you're not putting any effort into them. The actors don't care. Half the time, they look bored and disinterested when they're there.
Well, how are they supposed to look? All they're doing is standing on green screens all day.
Exactly. I mean, if you've seen some of these movies, like it doesn't even look like a movie. Half of these.
Listen to go back and watch the making of Gremlins. You'll hear Corey Feldman talk about how real he thought he treated Gizmo like a real creature because it looked real to him.
Mm-hmm.
He was 12 years old or whatever. He could, to him still being a kid, he could sit there and look at it, and then that's fucking real. It's moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, and fuck the wires.
That's what they're doing with the Dark Crystal. That stuff looks
Drew
real.
Barrymore said the same thing about E.T. She's like, and Steven Spielberg even said she treated E.T. like he was a real creature.
Well,
even in between takes and shit.
Just look at how they're doing it right. Like we always people always are like, "Oh, you guys are so negative." Okay, well, we'll take an example of the Dark Crystal. I'm 3 episodes in, and it looks right. It feels right. I want to look at the screen. I don't want to go and open up Twitter. I'm not getting bored because I'm looking at CG. I'm looking at characters. I'm looking at puppets that might as well be people.
I'm gonna say they don't use much CGI, do they?
No, and they all have personalities. They're all individual characters. Like they hand made these puppets and characters, and they put care and they put costumes on them, and they took care and effort to make them look like they're eating and not just a background prop, right? You know, you've got food falling out of the mouths of characters. You've got depth of the world. It looks like it's a world where these people live. And that's what they're doing right over on Dark Crystal. And that's not what they're doing right in anything else. Look at Star Wars. Like I felt more like I was watching Star Wars with the Dark Crystal than I was with any of these Disney Star Wars movies. Because everything's actually there. Everything is right there in front of me. It looks real. I can see it on screen, even if it's a little dark in some places. It doesn't have that CG haze. Right? You can definitely tell when something is all CG versus an actual practical effect.
It's like back when we grew up, movies were made with a lot of heart and soul by master craftsmen. Now they're being made in the lab and they come off an assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly. It's sloppy because you can see it so easily. You know, in The Last Jedi,
mm-hmm.
How come Luke can even see Force Ghost Yoda if it's cut up from the Force?
Right.
It shouldn't even be able to see him. It's just so sloppy. It's like
there's inconsistency.
Isn't that complex?
Exactly.
It's just so lazy. All of it is so lazy.
Rob's been pretty quiet here. He's muted.
I wonder if he might be reading what I sent too.
Yeah.
But we got something that's going to come up here, but we can keep talking about this for now. But yeah, no, I totally, this is like, look, another one people just brought, Christian Garcia brought up the Ninja Turtle movies. The 1990 movie is stupendous. It's still one of my, if not my favorite movie of all time now. It's kind of surpassed Empire Strikes Back over the years.
Yeah, the first Turtles movie.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
1990. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't much like the second one, but the first one I thought it
You're
was
not missing
fantastic.
much. The second one's okay, but yeah, that first one it's straight out the comics. It's dark.
Yeah, it had Casey Jones in it.
You have Jim Henson Company doing the effects on the turtles. They look amazing. You have a great voice cast. You got Corey Feldman. You got Robbie Rist. You got what's his face? Who is it who played on Police Academy movies? Mecca with and he's in Revenge of the Nerds. The Asian guy. Oh, Downy. He does Leo's voice anyway.
Fuck, I can't remember. Yeah, no, it's I can't remember the actor's name.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it now.
There, I can see his face. I just can't remember his name.
I'm blanking on it now all of a sudden. But yeah, he's in the Police Academy movies and he's in Revenge of the Nerds. And, you know, you got this great voice cast, you know, and just the effects and the story's great. I know Mecca's never seen it. It's one movie I'm like, you should check it out just to see if it stands up. She's never been a Turtles fan, though. But
yeah, I didn't like the Turtles anyway, though, so I'm sure it doesn't for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd like to find somebody who's never seen it and see if it holds up to a brand new viewer, because I think it would.
Oh, I didn't think it held up back then. I thought it looked kind of corny. That's why I didn't really. Well, I wasn't really into the Turtles though either, because I always thought they kind of looked corny. So I'm probably not the person to show it to.
I'm probably gonna get shot for this, but I actually liked the first of the new ones.
I didn't. Oh God. And I went into it thinking the worst of it was going to be how the turtles looked. That was the least of its issues by the time I got out of it. But you're right. The second one was far worse, if that's what you're going to say after that. I don't know if you've seen the second one or not. But Brian Toaster, thank you, Captain.
Secret of the Ooze, wasn't it?
No. The newer ones.
Oh yeah, the new one. Yeah. The
Out of the Shadows.
Yeah, that one was crap.
Oh God, I was literally screaming at the movie.
Yeah,
the whole thing. It was just crazy. Well, I'm not sure if our guest is going to come in here, so we might just jump on this story I got sent.
Yeah, we have a guest coming?
Well, I thought he might, but he might still.
All right, well,
this, I wonder if this is a distraction from the other certain group of people language we've heard from this, because I've heard other similar stories, you know. And I know
you'll remember I just brought this up here not too long ago that we got from a very reliable source that certain other members in the Star Trek crew behind the scenes have used derogatory terms when referring to characters.
Yep. Although a lot of the fans are anti this and phobic of that, right? Yeah. But no, it's your own goddamn cocksucking writers, isn't it? Star Trek Discovery, isn't it? It's not the fans. Don't you dare say that about your fans. We are better than this.
What is this guy?
Go ahead.
Walter Mose. Well, according to Hollywood Reporter, this just broke actually within the last hour or two, 5:28 Pacific time. Author Walter Mosley quits Star Trek Discovery after using N-word in writer's room. Ooh. Producers CBS TV Studios responded to the acclaimed writer and author in a statement provided to the Hollywood Reporter. We are committed to supporting a workplace where employees feel free to express concerns, where they feel comfortable performing their best work. Author Walter Mosley penned an op-ed for the New York Times published on Friday, in which he revealed that he quit his job as a writer on a television series after he was chastised by human resources for using the N-word on the job. Although Mosley did not reveal which show he departed, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that it was the CBS All Access Star Trek Discovery. That series renewed in February for its third season with its third showrunner. It's been more than that, hasn't it?
Hell yes.
They're on their fifth. This is the fifth showrunner.
Has experienced serious issues of abusive language in its writer's room in the past. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that season 3 showrunners Alex Kurtzman, who sources say personally recruited Mosley to the Discovery room, and Michelle Paradise were informed of the complaint via human resources, but were not present for the incident in which Mosley, run-on sentence, dude, Mosley allegedly used the N-word multiple times. Sources note that HR called Mosley to inform the acclaimed writer and novelist that typical use of that word was a fireable offense, but there was to be no course of action taken against him. Instead, HR informed Mosley that a writer in the room was uncomfortable with it and effectively wanted to ensure he was aware of the studio's policy. Earlier this year, I had just finished with the Snowfall writer's room for the season when I took a similar job on a different show at a different network. I'd been in the new room for a few weeks when I got the call from Human Resources. A pleasant-sounding young man said, "Mr. Mosley, it has been reported that you used the N-word in the writer's room." Mosley wrote in the New York Times. I replied, "I am the N-word in the writer's room." He's black?
Apparently, maybe that's why there was the confusion. Maybe they didn't realize that he was.
I'm sorry. He doesn't.
I can kind of see it now that you say it, but yeah.
Well, sometimes people
Maybe
look a little lighter.
maybe he's got the Michael Jackson disease, where your skin gets lighter.
I think he's mixed. He's just got lighter skin, yeah.
Mhm.
Mosley went on to explain that the individual in HR said that while he was free to use the word in a script, he could not say it. Mosley then clarified, "I hadn't called anyone it. I just told a story about a cop who explained to me on the streets of Los Angeles that he stopped all N-words in patty neighborhoods, whatever that means, in all patties in N-word neighborhoods because they were usually up to no good. I was telling a true story as I remembered it." Mosley wrote that he is unaware who complained about his use of the word. There I was, a black man in America who shares with millions of others history of racism, and more often than not, treated as subhuman. He continued, "If addressed at all, that history had to be rendered, in my words, my employers regarded as acceptable." Okay, actually, it goes on for quite a bit here.
I guess it sounds like a case of context, though.
Seems like they just didn't want to hear the word at all. And they were probably looking for an excuse to get rid of him. He was probably making too much sense. He was probably going against what they said. So they were going to find any little reason to get rid of him in Human Resources. Because remember, this is Star Trek Discovery. These people running the show are not very bright and they would not understand what context means. They would also not understand that if he's quoting, if he's like directly quoting something, and as somebody with the ability to actually use that word, he was using that word as his privilege. Do I think he should probably use it? Maybe he should have censored himself a little bit. But here's the thing, though. They're all about inclusivity.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, this actually caught my eye here. Mosley ended up in his op-ed by saying the worst thing you can do to citizens of a democratic nation is to silence them. He elaborated, and the easiest way to silence a woman or a man is to threaten his or her livelihood. Let's not accept the McCarthyism of secret condemnation. Instead, let's delve a little deeper, limiting the power that can be exerted over our citizens, their attempts to express their hearts and horrors, and their desire to speak their truths. Only this can open the dialogue of change.
We don't know, though, because we only have his statement.
We only have his side.
Most likely, if he used the N-word in the worst possible context, he's probably going to decorate the truth a bit because he wants to work later. But I don't know. At first glance, it looks like stuff we're taking out of context, I guess.
Captain Robert, but wouldn't you love to see what happened if Dave Chappelle was let loose in the Rat Writers? Oh, yeah.
This show is fucking stupid. Who the hell are you people? Ain't you ever seen a Star Trek before?
See, that's why I think he was probably just too smart and they were looking for a reason to get rid of him. This is probably something that happened months after the fact that he probably didn't even remember saying. Because that's the type of shit that they do. I'm just making shit up because, like, that's what my own experiences in jobs were. Is that they want to find something to get rid of you on. So they'll go back months and months and months, just like SJW types do.
What episodes did he write?
I don't know. I don't think he probably did. He's probably one of those that they had on board and then they never used.
Well, I was kind of hoping our guest would pop in. He'd help us out with that a little bit more, but yeah.
Mark Burnett?
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to pop in, but I'm not sure if he's going to or not. He might be busy.
Yeah, well, that's fine. He knows where to find us.
Oh yeah, he's got the link.
So, okay, no problem. But anyway, so yeah. Hey, you know, it's always a good day when there's when Star Trek Discovery gets some bad news.
Of course it is.
At least there's that. Are you gonna say what you're putting in his chat or no?
What?
I kind of hate that show, even if I haven't seen a single
No,
second.
Tom.
Well, I already reported on this before once, but I will say this again. This came from a very reliable source months and months ago. I said something about it. According to the source, and this goes to show that if this is true, though, that we kind of have a source on this that is inside. One of the Discovery writers said that Akiva Goldsman used the F word, as in, derogatory term. In the writer's room on multiple occasions, and used a mocking femme voice and mannerisms when discussing Stamets, the gay character played by Anthony Rapp. And I also heard from other places stuff about other racist things and things that have been said too, possibly. So, again, it just goes to show that this, and of course, we all know the whole stories about all the showrunners they've had, and Harbison's what's her face, and
yeah, they were almost flipping things across tables at each other, right? They were
trying to choke each other,
trying to choke each other out. The Anson Mount incident where HR was involved,
yeah, which we still question.
Well, this doesn't seem like a show that has this has an unusual amount of crazy things going on behind the scenes, of altercations, of changes, of just a bad press. The cast are shitty to each other sometimes, or to the fans anyway. It's just one of these high turmoil. It's very a toxic production, to use their word. This is a toxic production. Behind the scenes, it comes across as very much a toxic work environment. From what I've seen, it takes them weeks to film something that should be done in 2 days.
Well, and their talking points are always seem to be. Go ahead, Rob.
I was just saying, lots of tension behind the scenes. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I was going to say, a lot of their talking points always seem to be against stuff that we've heard. You ever notice? That's the funny thing. It's like, oh, no, everybody gets along. It's great. We all love Sonequa. She's wonderful, and blah, blah, blah. And it's always the same fucking 2 or 3 different talking points.
Mm-hmm. Diversity, inclusion, blah, 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 blah. Except when you're firing African-American writers, it looks like.
Wait, this guy is African-American?
Apparently, I believe he is. I mean, yeah, you can kind of see it. Some people look a little lighter as they get older. So
yeah, I was going to say, you can kind of see it in his face.
How old is he?
Well, he looks like he's at least in his early to late 50s or better.
They said maybe he has the Michael Jackson disease.
Maybe.
Well,
vitiligo.
Here's you've got his whole New York Times one, right? Or did you have the Hollywood Reporter one?
I got the Hollywood Reporter one.
Okay, well,
I was looking up his.
Well, here's his write up in the New York Times that he actually wrote. He wrote an op-ed, "Why I Quit the Writers' Room."
Oh, there's so many Walter Moyer. Which one's the right one here?
Yeah, the worst thing you can do to citizens of a democracy is silence them, by Walter Mosley. He's a novelist and screenwriter. All right, let's look him up. Let's see what his resume is.
That's what I was trying to find, but there's so many different ones. But I got the New York Times.
Twitter.
Close some fucking windows, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Star Trek. Walter Mosley, Star Trek.
No, yeah, he's clearly African American. If you see his picture here on his website, I think it's just a lighter colored picture or something. But here's the thing. That's the least interesting thing about him. I mean, I'm curious to know what he did behind the scenes. And
well, this is what he wrote.
I just finished with the Snowfall Writers' Room for the season when I took a similar job on a different show at a different network. I had been in the new room for a few weeks when I got a call from Human Resources. The pleasant-sounding young man said, "Mr. Mosley has been reported to use the N-word in the writer's room." I replied, "I am the N-word in the writer's room." He said very nicely that I could not use that word except in a script. I could write it, but I could not say it. Me, a man whose people in America have been, among other things, slandered by many words. But I could no longer use that particular word to describe the environs of my experience.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I have to step forward, a thrust of the story, to say that I had indeed said the word in the room. I hadn't called anyone it. I had told a story. Yeah, so he's just relaying it.
I'm not
I was
seeing any.
there, a black man in America who shares with millions of others in the history of racism, and more often than not, treated as subhuman. Yeah, so they're just getting mad at him for using it because they're a bunch of fucking snowflakes in the writer's room, it looks like, and they don't understand context. Again, because they're a bunch of stupid little children who work on Star Trek Discovery, if this is the case. He doesn't specify it was Star Trek Discovery here, but that's what the speculation was.
I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything on his IMDb page about Star Trek Discovery, so he probably is working on season 3.
Yeah, well, season 3 is not. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
you know,
they did just finish Short Treks too.
it's
Mhm.
like what Mecca said. Context doesn't matter to SJWs.
No. No, everything's judged by their own personal.
I'm offended. I'm offended, and you can't say that because I'm offended.
People seem to. I guess they need to read the dictionary because not liking something isn't the same as offended.
I know.
And if you're offended, watch something else. It really is that easy.
They have to take away whatever we like.
Yeah, we have to make sure nobody gets to watch it, and the people who offended you slightly, it never gets to work again.
See, now
I've
Hollywood
often said
Reporter. Okay, the Hollywood Reporter is assuming that it's Star Trek Discovery. Why would Hollywood Reporter why would they assume one way or another that it's Star Trek Discovery?
Because they know something.
Well, yeah, because they know something, but what does this is this going to hurt or help Star Trek Discovery by running with that it is?
Well, hopefully this guy will start talking about what it's like behind the scenes if that's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, it'll help us, but the Hollywood Reporter has been pretty a little shilly, not nearly as much as comicbook.com. Comicbook.com won't run with this.
No.
Or
We need to ask Dave Chappelle what happened behind the scenes of Star Trek Discovery. Dave Chappelle, what you've been behind the scenes of Star Trek Discovery. What happened?
crickets. I hear the cricket.
Way to go, Tom. We can look like an
Tom
ass.
died. Oh no, that's all right.
What happened?
Well, you didn't. Well, I guess it sounded like your mic was either muted or you dropped out. Now I see Rob dropped out.
Well, what'd you guys ask me?
Oh no, he was asking what was Chappelle think of what's going on in the Star Trek Discovery writers' room. So maybe he dropped out now.
I understand. Ain't you ever seen no Star Trek? This ain't got nothing to do with no Captain Kirk or no Vulcans or Klingons. What the fuck are these things? Orcs? What the shit? Get it out of here.
Yeah, probably check the green room for him to come back too.
It's probably me who has put on too much weight. I'm bumping people off the couch.
Now I'm going to smoke some weed, and when I get back, you guys better get this shit in order, or I'm starting to fire each and every one of you motherfuckers. Don't even know how to see a Star Trek. I seen Star Trek. This ain't Star Trek. You don't have babies' heads. Babies' heads. Babies' heads. That's all I'm gonna say.
They didn't have the balls to actually do it. They're trying for edgy and shocking, and then they're like, "Oh no, see, we didn't actually kill a baby because we don't have the balls to, because we're a bunch of fucking pussies in the Star Trek writers' room."
Klingon raping babies' heads. That's all it is.
Why the fuck is all these lights blinking? Didn't you all pay a light bill?
Can't see shit.
You're flying around in a fucking nuclear reactor, and you can't have some lights on. Is that sad or what? It's like no lighting means something's wrong. You need to be able to see what you're doing. You're working in space. This is a fucking office or a military ship. You're so goddamn worried about HR behind the fucking scenes. What about HR during the show? Like on set for the lights. You can't even fucking see. If you gotta go and move over to a station, you've got all these giant tripping hazards too. They've got like giant arches and things to trip over right in the middle of the bridge. It's fucking stupid. It's the worst designed ship or bridge I've ever seen. I think I'm done ranting about that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a strange turn of events, that's for sure.
T- Tell us how you really feel.
Right. So anyhow, what else is going on? What are you doing, Robert? Who is that?
Oh no, that's Stig, I think.
Oh, is it Steve? Okay.
Yeah, I was putting away a soda bottle.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. It's like somebody making a drink or something. It sounds like ice. Gotcha.
New Rambo movie is premiering soon, though.
When is that out?
September 20th.
Yep.
Looks awesome.
Better be awesome. Better be.
He's gonna shoot up Mexico, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He did Burma last time.
I can't wait to see this full toxic masculinity.
Picture if he's going up against the Mexican cartel, right?
Yeah.
Picture if the final scene where he's, usually gunning down a pile of people. Picture if he's standing on Trump's wall doing that with the American flag behind him. That would trigger people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's not gonna happen though.
Mm-hmm.
The outcry would have been entertaining.
Boy. How did
What's your cricket's name? That's all I'm hearing is your cricket.
Jiminy.
No, that's a generic cricket name. That's like naming your mouse Mickey. You can't have a Jiminy.
Pete?
You named him Pete?
Pete, yeah. Pete's out tonight, yeah.
Pete Best.
Yeah.
At least the only thing I'm hearing, so.
Creak, 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 creak. That's usually the same sound that comes to my audience whenever I do stand up. Creak, creak. So
Yep. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Never heard one, to be honest. We don't have them in Norway. We don't have
No?
cockroaches either, I think.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, they have polar bears and stuff.
New York, there's more cockroaches than people.
We have rats. I think the rule is if you multiply the amount of citizens with 10,000, that's the amount of rats the city has.
More rats.
Trivia.
There was a thing, Pizza Rat, a couple years ago. Remember the rat dragging a piece of pizza in the subway?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had hungry turtles to feed.
Exactly. Yeah. People like, well, what's the big deal? Don't you know? Splinter's got to get this pizza back to his boys. You know, jeez.
Mikey's a fussy eater.
That's right. All right. Is there anything else to talk about?
No, I don't think our guest is going to show, so we might as well call it a day.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's call this bitch. If you like what we do, and why wouldn't you? Please like, subscribe, click the bell icon.
If they don't, they probably have good taste.
Yeah, that's right. The main channel, like, subscribe, click the bell icon over there. If you're already subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube has a bad habit of unsubscribing people. And if you really like what we do, head over to Patreon. You get all kinds of cool stuff, bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, behind the edge making of videos, my 10-minute stand-up set, and more. If you don't like Patreon, we have Subscribe Star. If you don't like Subscribe Star, we have PayPal. You support the show directly. We're not the middleman. And if you don't have the means to support the show financially, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, because we cannot do this without you. Mecca, tell them about your channel.
I'm MeccaRandom42. Go watch all my videos. Watching is more important than subscribing, so don't just subscribe and then never watch anything. No dead subs, please. Yeah, that's the thing. I have Patreon. I have stuff. Do I need to do a GoFundMe for that thing or no?
What thing?
The thing that we were talking about. The thing.
Are you building me a robot?
God, no.
Damn it.
We'll talk about that off stream. There might be a thing coming up, so we'll see. We'll see what we're doing.
You're better off not jinxing anything. So
Yeah, we're better not talking about it just yet.
all right. So yeah, Stieg, it's been an honor to have you on here. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
And big thanks to all three of you for having me on and making me feel welcome. And thanks to everyone who watched. Everyone in the chat has been great, and thanks for having me on. I have a tiny channel, but I'm not a YouTuber really. I just have a couple of videos.
Yeah, you're like
mostly you'll find me on other people's streams. I tend to get invited.
It's because you're
European
hilarious.
European tokenism.
No, it's because you're hilarious. That's why.
I don't know, but I like it. It's fun to talk to people and all that. So that's really what I do. Friend of the family, I guess.
Yeah.
Adopted fellow.
And you can always catch Stieg on Mary's channel as well. She's got Mary shenanigans going on later. He's always on there. So.
Yeah, we recorded 4 of them.
Yeah, because she's on vacation.
Week. Yeah, I did 6 shenanigans in 9 days.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I did
fun. Some of those. Yeah, it was weird.
It was lots of fun. I'm pretty sure some of it will get clipped, to be honest.
Well, it's like we had to remember that stuff that we recorded before other things, and then we went live in between there. So it was like, oh yeah, we can't talk about that.
Yeah, spoiler, Miss Sarcastic Nerd did a great one. It's gonna happen pretty soon. Not sure which week, but
yeah, it's like you're actually working in television, for once. It's like, I don't know when it's going to be on. They just do it, and then they do it, and then it's on the thing, and it's when it shows up.
Rob and 19K Fox did a really cool one involving Batman as well. That was fun. So everyone who watches Mary's channel, you're in for some good treats.
But yeah, so definitely check that out. Check out Stieg's channel. Check out Mecca's channel. Check out all of the Friends of Midnight's Edge's channel, of course. So many to mention, but let's roll. Let's get out of here. It's already been 90 minutes. What do you say, Rob?
Yeah, why not? Everybody, thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yes.
Have a good weekend.
Do I have the finger?
Dune Buggies!
I'm Krispy Kreme McDonald's.
My name's Bender.
These aren't the hemorrhoids you're looking for.
I geschmoigeried her geflavorty with my googus.
That's illegal in 12 states,
I like big Asian butts, and I cannot lie.
I shagged your mother last night, Trebek.